This is another nerd off, and it's about AI, of course, but about children using AI chatbots as friends or companions. I basically came across this report this afternoon out of the US, data this month actually, so it's very recent, but basically there is some interesting findings, concerns coming out of that report. And I think, you know what, I need to share this because we need to be able to prepare our kids out these ways. But also, actually everywhere, to be honest. But also we kind of touched on this during our Dogala Digital and AI literacy classes, and with our Dogala community. So it's quite timely. We need to be able to make these spaces for these types of discussions, because it just raises other important issues that we need to tackle as well. So the main stats that I found really intriguing was that about 12%, so overall there's for users of chatbots, using chatbots as friends is 35%, right? But 50% of vulnerable kids feel like they're chatting with a friend. About 12% of children use chatbots because they have no one else to speak to, end quote, rising to 23% among vulnerable groups. I'm not sure who those vulnerable groups are, but I suspect they'll be the minorities. I'll come back to you to confirm if that is wrong. But there's a whole heap of findings that's come out of that report that you'll be able to read. But one of the harmful findings that I think that's really important to speak about is the fact that these chatbots they risk the emotionally charged ones. I don't know how else to say it, but they can deepen attachment for the kids, and for the kids, this may reduce the possibility of real world social engagement because they are heavily relying on AI. On top of the fact they've got digital access to the internet, already. Once you throw in AI, at the rate that the AI technology is moving, at the pace that it's moving right now, we need to be really prepared. And it's kind of like, what does it look like? I'm not sure, but we need to be able to get our cultural leaders or people that know how to work with children. What does it look like? I guess the teachers need to get heavily involved. Like, we need to be able to educate, bring it into schools, AI literacy, know how to use these chatbots, and also their parents, just give them a bit of education. I'm just rolling back to that whole vulnerable groups that was pulled out of that report out in the US, because if I think about the vulnerable groups here in New Zealand, locally and historically, it's always been Māori and Pasifika communities. And the reality is that a lot of parents in the Pacific community and Māori community, we've always had multiple jobs, long hours, and the risk of children having, left to their own devices to kind of entertain themselves, or not having the parents to kind of protect them from the digital world that's accessible to them. And once you throw in AI, it just goes to another level. So I feel like we need to think about answers. Obviously, education is one answer. We need to be able to bring AI literacy to the schools, to the teachers, maybe have workshops for parents. Actually, that's a good one. Workshops with parents, especially that are culturally tailored, and also if we can create some chatbots that are culturally tailored as well, with our Pacific personalities, culture, faith. I think that's a good start, or one way to look at protecting our kids. The other thing was policies, of course. There needs to be policies put in place and followed from government when it comes to children and the usage with AI tools. So interesting. I want to bring this to Ngāti Lab so that we can talk about it in our Dogala community as well as the wider community as well.